ready?
Okay.
Okay. How did you decide to, if you decided to be a writer, and how did you combine that with being an illustrator?
When I was maybe 8 or 9 years old, my teacher asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. And maybe on a different day I might have said astronaut or something, but I said I wanted to write and illustrate my own book.
I know you like Borges.
Yes, I do. Yeah. I haven't. In fact, I bought or rebought his fictions recently because I was coming here. I remembered how much I used to enjoy him when I was young, maybe 21, 22. That sort of when I was discovering lots of writers. He was one of the writers that I discovered, and I really like his. There are some strange stories where there's an explanation, it's a ghost or it's something, but I like those stories where there's no things are just strange. Kafka is the same,
yes.
And I love stories like that. Yeah.
So you're an avid reader, as a good writer.
Yeah,
any good writer.
You have to be.
Reader.
Yeah, that's why you learn to be a writer. You wouldn't know that writers existed if you didn't read books. I never understand when I meet children who say they want to be writers, but they don't want to read. It's impossible.
It's not the,
it's impossible.
not the right way.
No.
And how do you see, in terms of technology and the new relationship between kids or teenagers and books?
They have a lot more distractions than I had. As saying earlier, that I used to get bored, so then I would pick up a pencil and start drawing. Children don't have a chance to get bored now, because if they get bored, they can just pick their phone up or play FIFA on the Xbox or whatever. They can do something else. And
you are going to. You're here because you're going to be part of a convention about bloggers, and this whole new technology has to be, in a way, absorbed in the system to be able to generate content for all of them.
Yeah, and it's very different now. When I was reading, even if I really loved a writer and read all their books, I never thought about that writer at all. I never thought about whether they were alive or dead or who they were. Whereas now, children and teenagers, they know about writers. They contact me on Twitter or on Facebook. They want to talk to me, and all of that is great. And I think people are very negative about teenagers, but all the teenagers I meet I think they're nicer people than teenagers when I was growing up. They're less racist. They're less judgmental about people, more accepting of different people than I was, my generation was. So I think teenagers are not as bad as they're made out to be. Yeah. A 16-year-old could read The Road, and it's fine. It's about a father and son. It has a young person in it. It's very
strong.
And strong, and there's a lot of horror in it. When people talk to me about horror, there's a lot of horror in literary fiction. So there's a lot of horror in Cormac McCarthy. Almost every Cormac McCarthy book has got a scene in it that's horrible.
And it's more related to what you
to
know, to real life.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe it's even worse.
More horrible, yeah. And I think, so recently I was writing a book in which, for older teenagers, in which a boy has a fantasy superhero life. And in his fantasy life, he has to save a man from drowning in a car. A car is sinking into the river. And that's his only job as a superhero, and he fails every time. And through the book, you come to realize that it's his father that's sinking in the car, and he's trying to save his father.
So he comes to that situation over and over, like the Sisyphus myth.
So he just tries it again and again and again, and he can never do it. And you come through the book, you come to realize that the reason he can't do it is because he knows, although he's forgotten it because it's too traumatic, that his father committed suicide, so his father didn't want to be saved. Now, I could go into a school talking about that book, and there could be a child in the audience
in the same situation
whose father did commit suicide. So you have to be careful about how you have to make sure that you're not making a book in which has no hope, where the child has no hope, because you can do that in an adult book. I think in a children's book, if you just keep you have to care about children. I don't understand, why would you write for children if you didn't care about children?
No, of course.
It would be a strange thing to do. So you don't want to, scaring them is one thing, making them miserable or traumatise them is something else. I don't want to do that.
No.
But I definitely want to scare, if I'm writing a scary story,
you want to generate that effect.
And the child has chosen it because it's a scary story. It says Tale of Terror on the cover.
Of course.
They want to be scared. So if they could complain to me and say it wasn't scary, that's fair. But they can't complain to me and say it was too scary, because you think, well, why did you pick it then?